this camera my mom got me. He doesn't have it again. The person who sold it to her probably wasn't that concerned. You see, when you go to businesses, the people who are really good at what they do and the people who are just the rest of the people you have to deal with. It sucks sometimes when businesses have someone who's really good. I had this really good barista, but the problem was that she'd fallen in love with me. You know, and it's like, oh man, this is that thing. People join labor groups, but they want to find themselves in a sex orientation with someone too. And both of those things have been a side thing that neither of those things is going to solve, right? Yeah, it's like, oh shit. Like people would say, hey, you don't work enough, or you should get a real job or something. And I see people and it's like, you should think about what your jobs have done to you. Anytime when I'm interacting with people who are working in the service industry and they're rude, I think your job isn't going to solve, and your sex relationships aren't going to solve any of the reasons you want either of them. If we could only go back in time. So, words, knowledge has to travel through time. It has to give a voice to something that you may not have needed it to give a voice to when you were young. But it could have. The world out there, you might say, about children to protect them. Things that give children a voice. You say things that give animals a voice. But have animals always had that voice? Have children always had that voice? No. And do they have enough of a voice today? No. My dad didn't have a voice when he was a child. But he's done pretty well, And he finds well enough people to have a beer with and enjoy the company, I hope, wherever he's at. Maybe one day, goddess, the earth, and the father of the earth willing, I'll be able to talk to him again. He'll be in his 80s, be different. I haven't really talked to him in 15 years almost. And it's sad. And my heart kind of weeps a little bit for that. And maybe I cling to my mom all the more. I cling to my life. I cling to something real in my heart that pushes me on. But I have my share of wounds. Lots of them. I spend all day mulling them over. I have nothing but time to myself. How many people could spend this much time to themselves? I come home because of negative energies in my life. I have to concern myself with what I'm going to find when I get there. It's an awful feeling. I'm just marking the calendar. How many days I feel concerned, right? But I'm concerned for my personal. This one police officer, and he said, oh yeah, we expect people to be afraid of us. Oh, yeah, we're not too worried about those people. Oh no, it's just the night crawlers. Oh, the night crawlers, he said. The night crawlers. You mean like homeless people who come out at night? That's what he calls them, night crawlers. I call you, Mr. Police Officer, a predator. You're worse than they are, by a long shot. What are you more worried about in the course of your life, or what should you worry about? People who roam the streets at night because they're not safe to sleep somewhere out of the cold by themselves would rather sleep on the stairs in the cold during the day, so you pass by them. People that aren't going to hurt them at least, and that's the last love they have in the world. Or people who drive around preying on those people. Right? And again, the heart sinks, doesn't it? The heart weeps. And you start to see a mentality, a model, a profile of a human mentality shared by millions of human beings that, even if nothing else, merely endure such conditions and become somewhat painfully symbiotic with them because it's just the way it is. It's never because this world sunk too much of its claws into your family, which is the inciting problem for every group people join in every relationship they have. It doesn't make it all wrong, but it needs to have its voice. And if the relationship or the job can't give that voice to you, then what is going to protect anyone from you or your job or your people? Nothing. there's nothing left there to protect them. Right? Because you've already lost inhibitions you didn't know you had. Morally, sexually, ethically, physically. You'll now commit to things in ways of being you might not have otherwise done so, and you'll take pride in what is called being a man or a woman, or dealing with the real world. So, no, I'm not pleased in my heart with what such people say. The same person said to me he didn't think soldiers killed people in wars. And his wife was a civilian, high-ranking civilian member of the naval organization. When I met her one day, she looked homeless, wandering around the woods. I took her to the river. She lived a half a kilometer from this river most of her life. And this is not a woman who's senile and couldn't figure out which way the ocean was, or where she'd been, or where she'd crossed the river 10 minutes ago. And I'm perfectly capable of understanding how people can quickly get disoriented in the woods when they've never been there, even when they're close to their home. What was amazing is that her attitude was so self-important. She couldn't accept my help without being rude, without projecting wild things onto me. And, because they're insecure. And of all the miles that I've logged, I've never met someone with worse boundaries. There's always people that have worked with children or connected to law enforcement. Law enforcement. Oof. There's some ominous words, hey? And I unplugged the phone yesterday. I just accidentally got unplugged, I'll just say. Taking off one line. No one ever calls that we need to talk to on the phone. And I slept like a baby. I literally slept like a baby. I was just like, for now, save for a little bit. It's good. It's okay. Healthy. There you go. Another day in January. Yes, okay. Predators never speak the language of their prey. Yeah, so it was like, never do you meet someone. I actually went to his home one day, and his wife invited me out to go look for mushrooms. And her sense of the natural habitat was a little odd. And she was a bit of an odd human being. I didn't really want to be there. It's just like, meet some new people, see the family. No, this is weird. And the other day they sat down with me at a coffee shop and one of their friends came by. The first thing he did is lie to me. It's an obvious lie. I was like, that is not a good sign socially when the first thing someone does is lie to you. Even as a joke. It's very, very, very bad manners. It tells me that there's a lot going on there. Lack of eye contact. Oh, there's a horse here. Oh, and Butler didn't know. insinuations into the home and my stuff. Be rebuffed, be diseased as necessary, so say assault me. My mom. I might just need to change my daily routine. Maybe walking isn't a thing for me anymore. I could just go down to the gym all day, maybe. But I'm gonna have to take 2 hot scalding baths every day, just from the the sweat I work up. I become a creature of the elements. Every temperature goes up every degree, every down degree, every precipitation, snowfall. And on the wonderful occasions, my mom gives me a nice little ride, say to Qualicum. And I get, comes a strange little snobby area. And I could bet you good money that every day I walk out there for 6 or 7 or 8 hours, I'm going to get some kind of strange negative from the white person every time I go out there. And it is uncanny. And I guess at worst or best, I set myself up by my physical appearance. Just having long hair, different areas of the world. It's just, God, having long hair, something that really feels good to me. And my hair just grows doesn't grow any longer than that. But, boy. Turning into the road home, getting home early, here, and I said early. Yeah, I went into that facility and did not want to be there. Subway, much better. The guys there, they're mostly male employees. Still got half my sub, and it's a nice environment. I don't go there so much. I don't want to because it's beside a cannabis store where I got sexually harassed. And through COVID, there's a number of young and some older white females who became extremely aggressive while shopping and way too much eye contact. Other things. And this woman, she was always making too much eye contact, and one day she became progressively suggestive in her body language, dilation of the eyes, dropping the F-bomb while I'm buying some weed. I was like, nope, gotta go. And I left it for 2 months and said, fuck, I can complain of sexual harassment. I'm not going to say who it was, I'm not going to say who I am, I'm just going to say I didn't like it, and I'm not going to. You should put something on your door that says pot shop / sexorium. And the strange thing is, there's another female that works there, no problem. You could see, even when the two were standing together, anyone could see that the one had an extraordinary interest in me. And I'm like, oh my lord, is this what they're like? Oh my god, that person would just eat you alive. I don't find that sexy. I find that aggressive and very uncomfortable. It's maybe a mote flattering, but oh my fuck. Oh, that sunlight popped out of that. Nice. We're very almost done. Difficulty level high. But now I can home. Let's shift the time.